Good afternoon, everybody, and I must admit they're not our favourite animals here at the moment. We had a bit of bin raiding a little bit earlier on from these guys, so a little bit of mess to clear up, but thankfully all clean now. Welcome to Wild Earth this afternoon, and Gary Gang. I think we're going to have to catch up with them in a little bit again. Looks like they're heading off. My name's Tara. Joining me on camera this afternoon is Sebastian, and back in front of control is Mark. Let's jump aboard and catch up with these little guys, just in case there's anybody on board who didn't see them this morning. And some of you may have seen Graham with us this morning. He was checking in on his fluffies, as he calls them. The Gary Gang. I'm just going to try and catch up with them. It's been a little while since we've seen them. Fortunately, trying to find food wherever they can, and there wasn't any food in the bins, but there must have been something that smelt good. It smelt like food for them to go and raid the bins. Tank man especially. The reason being we are in winter, so food is a little bit more difficult to find. Looks like they've stayed pretty close to where they're sleeping. They haven't really gone too far by the looks of it today. Could be because Graham's been back. Just go onto the road here and just watch them as they come back in. One red-billed oxpecker flying overhead. You might have heard it. There's Tank Man. And Elby's leading the way again. Always fascinates me, and yet she's supposed to be the... Well, she is. She's the lowest ranking member of the troop. And yet she's usually the one that's leading the way. There she is. And here comes the rest of the troop, behind Tank Man. There's Shirley. There she is, with little Genesis on board. And Gordy was walking next to her. That's the other male.
Going to bed already?
I don't think they're going to bed just now, but I think they...
Going towards their bed.
Yeah, they're definitely going towards possibly going to be searching for food inside Yuri's garden. Which is why you're seeing the fence. Here comes little Evelyn. Here she goes. Just about to see a tail. Oh. And her mum, Mrs. Psycho, bringing up the rear. So that's little Gordy. Quite interesting, Mrs. Psycho chased Gordy today. Very unusual. Oh, there go the guinea fowl. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. Oh dear. Come on, Jigger. We might not be going anywhere. Takes a little bit of time. Good girl.
What's the girl? You got bored.
You've lived with women for how long now? But if you're saying guys are temperamental, then...
Yes,
I think they are going to go into the garden. As much as we get so frustrated with them sometimes, trying to break into the house and break into the bins, you can't blame them. Let's say we are here on their territory. We're loaning the land from them. And if there's an easy meal to find, then why waste a lot of energy looking for food when you might hit the jackpot? We just have to come up with better ways of stopping them breaking in. They're going to be like this afternoon, Jigger. I've got the guinea fowl over there. We can have a look at them while Jigger's warming up. Close. Ta-da! I told you she had character. She is definitely a woman, see? And a little madam at times. She is a lady. Sorry? Good afternoon, all stations. Any updates?
Afternoon, 5 Daga boys, 3 out there, and somebody low on the southern end of the Piedmont line.
Copy that, thank you. Did anyone follow up on Karula this morning?
I'm not sure. I was working on the Facebook and Facebook. I didn't work with this
Copy. Apparently she crossed over from Shabam Road, Philemon's Cut Line. She went north to the Shlatine. I'll see if I can check around Zoe's Road. And the Mampimpans were, well, one was around Final Control last night. possibly in that drainage line. So if anybody was unable to join us on the morning drive, and we had, I think it was the little girl, we couldn't quite see because it was quite dark. We had the little girl sitting on the road leading towards final control, and she was actually watching. She couldn't care less that we were stood there. We were stood just behind a vehicle which actually spotted her. It was one of the staff going down towards the lodge, and saw her in the middle of the road. Behind the vehicle and watched her, and we were obviously hidden by the lights of the vehicle, but she couldn't care less because we were talking, so she knew that we were there, and possibly she felt like she was undercover. But I'm sure she would have been there all day because she was just so used to the voices. Almost as if, you know, it was kind of normal and she'd been listening to us all day. She can just carry on her business. And she was actually watching something, and the longer we watched, and then we heard something, and say every so often she was sort of changing directions, sort of having a listen, having a look, and then all of a sudden, whatever it was that she was watching moved, and it sounded a lot larger than a scrub hare, because there's a scrub hare that lives around there. It certainly looked or sounded a lot larger, and I think that it was a duiker. So there is a duiker that lives around there. I think that could have been what she was watching. But once the duiker moved, the duiker ran and she ran, but I don't think they actually collided. I think she was just more honing her skills at that stage. Hi Julie, good morning to you. And maybe checking on. Ah, we're back. Okay. I think what we're going to try and do, as soon as we're here, we're going to keep going that way, because apparently that's where the Ellies might be. But I think while we're here, and we have picture, let's check in on Induna. Julie, we tried to check in on Induna. We had the baboons, and then obviously we went to black screen. Found him down, have any signal. Now I think we've sorted the aerial out enough that maybe we will get signal. So let's have a look for him around here. Just keep your fingers crossed that we do keep picture. might lead you through the dip here. Still here. We didn't see much else actually after that. We did a lot of tracks. Third time lucky and all that. This is where he was this morning. He had a leg to chew on when we left him. Just found a spot to snooze in. I'm going to have to go up on top and have a look. Let's just have a quick look where you found it today. Yep. It's worth checking though. Check treehouse down. So might have just gone to have a drink. Although it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other, of which down. Is there? pressure hold. It seems to be better than it was this morning. Is any constellation? Oh, if anybody was with us this morning, I did double check how many offspring dwarf mongoose has. It's about 2 to 4 apparently. I overshot that one a little bit. So there was about 6 to 8, but it's 2 to 4 in the litter. So I did say I'd double check that because I wasn't entirely sure. Forget numbers, I'm as bad as Mark. Numbers never got on. Rhino walked down here. Hi Jerry. To you over there in Oklahoma. Wood and Duna, I'm one of the cubs, if the riddle wasn't there. Very difficult question to answer. There's any number of possibilities. It could be that he kills them, tries to harm them. Could be that he may have met them before with Karula, and he might recognize them. It could be that he smells Karula on them. Maybe recognises them as siblings. I mean, I can't see why he would at this age, though he is starting to become mature, so that instinct could be there. As I say, there are any number of possibilities. I'm going to come back and have a look. I think funny how that happens. There's a lot of interference down here, and then also there's nothing. Two rhinos walk down the road together. Who's that? Sounds like wing flapping. Or is it? Oh, I think it's going to be a woodpecker. Just on a very funny piece of wood.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Everything got a some place just west of the open area on the grass side here in Malapan. Yeah, copy, thank you. Move on in now. And now my turn, but
An update on the lions, just in case I've been able to hear. The lions, 6 males. It's a coalition of 6 young males who have come in, we think from the Manualetti. Apparently Rexon was saying that their name is Machimba. I think some people are calling them Matimba. So I don't know if they've got 2 names. It could be one of those that they do have 2 names, known by different people as different. Sometimes the leopards have 2 names. see if we can get confirmation of who calls what from where. Oh, don't go. Oh, there he is. Okay, right next to the really large trunk. And there's a fork-tailed drongo with them. Have you mimicked their alarm call yet, drongo? I'd love to see that one of these days. Because the drongos do mimic the meerkats in some areas. We don't have meerkats here. But they mimic the alarm call. And if the meerkats are eating anything, they've been known to give the alarm call, meerkat drops what they're eating and runs for cover, and drongo flies down and grabs whatever it is that they've been eating. And I've been waiting to see if they'll do it with the dwarf mongoose. Oh, there's one still sitting out here. I'll come back. Oh, someone's already checked Treehouse down. So we'll try.
Not much, yeah, busy. What's your plan? Yeah, now what is going on?
Okay, someone's already checking pilot planes, that's good.
Not yet, I didn't check, but this morning I think they were empty. Can I come and have a look at the meeting time?
On. So that's the dwarf mongoose. So give birth to about between 2 and 4 offspring. Unlike other sociable mongoose, they do have an alpha pair, male and female. And they found with some studies that it's very stressful being the alpha breeding pair. And what's even more interesting with dwarf mongoose is sometimes the alpha pair might have affairs. Sometimes the female might accept other males in the colony, and sometimes the alpha male might go and mate with other females, and sometimes if conditions are right, other females may actually breed as well. But generally it's just the male and female, the alpha pair that breed. And they're more willing to accept strangers than the other mongoose are. And it is possible for a stranger from another colony male or female. Copy. Going towards the end of Philemon's hook line and see if we get a picture back. Okay. Follow me.
Can I put your camera?
No, that's what I'm saying. So yeah. It's
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
huh? You should know.
Yeah, mongoose.
Oh, you did.
Where are you off to?
Sting a loop. Can't go too far
Because
today.
tracks off Tumafazi, Ngala,
Oh, is
just on
it?
this road here, cutting off here to the east into this block here, so I don't know if you want to check around here.
Okay, yeah.
Due to Lalama Fazis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
we're here on Gary Main this morning, I don't know if you heard.
No, we've not been able to get too far. We're still not able to go too far. So I'll probably just do a loop around from Battery House Dam and
Oh, okay.
head
Yeah,
back.
check,
That's
check around here. I'll come back after. I just want to check the music line.
No, not yet.
I'll check it and I'll come
Cool.
back here for us.
Alrighty, no
Give me a
worries.
shout, huh?
Enjoy.
Bye.
On Gary Main this morning. Might just get Ellie's went that way. Phil. Oh, okay. That's where the lines have just gone. Okay, are we back? Aha! Okay, awesome. Okay. Okay, we're just here on Gary Main. I was hoping we would get picture back. Phil said that there was 2 Tsalala females down here this morning, which we didn't hear, and they crossed over here, but it looks like they've actually crossed back over, unfortunately. Oh. Let me see if I can pull over a little bit. Quite nice to try and show you. So there's 2 Tsalala females. That's where they've gone. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Just showing some line tracks here going over.
Lion track.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I was trying to radio you.
Yeah, no, I just had the radio down because I was just talking to everybody.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Go around, I don't want to destroy your tracks there.
Oh, okay, cool.
See if I can see anything on foot.
Oh, it's fine. You can drive through. I just want the one at the end there.
No, I don't want to destroy your shot. Go around. You won't mind if I just quickly go?
No, it's fine. No, go for it. Okay, let me see if we can pull back. Actually, I should have done that as a tracking question. Oh well, never mind. You see that one there?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'm just going to go and point it out for you quickly. Just watch my back, okay? See that?
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
So ano lang po?
Ano nang gal?
Ito yung stick.
Banga maybe young sticks ma doda na fambala.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got another
Yeah,
set here.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Pas op 'n kon sa kana siya yung kon.
That's quite interesting. So just in case anybody hasn't been able to see a track in the line before, unfortunately we can't climb off. It was affecting our signal this morning. But oh, he's just
right
here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say these are pretty.
Thank you.
No worries. How many?
That looks just like one. I'll go in now and have a look.
Yeah, unfortunately we can't cross over. Apparently they are just here. I'm gonna say because they are looking pretty fresh. That's what I saw. Said that there is possibly the Styx male. That's what the tracker was saying. But there is another set of tracks here, so I won't be surprised if there is another one there. But he said Tsalala females. They've crossed over. Well, let's see if they go in. Their heads might just occur.
So that's thanks to you, that, because I don't think they would have seen the track otherwise.
Yeah, probably. So they're just here. We might have to come back a little bit later if they don't put the heads up. Just goes to show, because I would have thought that was one of the females, those tracks. It just goes to show. But sometimes you can get it wrong. They're a little bit too far back by the looks of it. They're just behind this termite mound here. Let me just see if I can pull forward. This is a very busy road, and there's a few that have been scrubbed out. There we go. So no, I think I was right. That one is a female. This one's the male just here. The ones I was looking at look like female, but this one looks like male. But Sarah was wanting to know how fresh they were. So they were looking fairly fresh to me. But I don't think they're like they've just got there. I think there we go. Sounds like they were lying down. But fresh enough to follow. Back there. Trying to see where everyone's looking. I'm not sure if he's going to be on 2 or 3 now. Phil Falconer.
Tara, I'm standing by, guys.
If you can copy me, how many? Someone is sitting on the mic. Phil, come in. How many? Oh, it is the Tsalalas. Ah, okay. So I was right. It was the 2 females. Copy that, they lalapans. I copied you. I don't know if you can copy me.
Yeah, I copied you now. South from where the tracks cross over Gary's Mine. Just south of there, 2 of the young Kalala from
Yeah, it is the 2 females. As I say, we can always get it wrong. I copied that. Thanks, Phil. We'll see if we can come back a little bit later. Are they lalapans?
That's A from Tara at the moment. They lying down flat here on Falkman out.
Okay, copy. Yeah, we'll see if we can come back a little bit later. If they wake up in the meantime, could you give us a shout?
We'll reach Tara, not a problem at all.
Okay, so it's the two females from the Salalas. Flat apparently, and they might not be for a little while. So Phil's going to let us know if they cross over or if they do wake up. So just the shape of them, they were quite big. Just the shape of them said female. And we said it was a Styx male. Okay, well, maybe I have one then. I doubt it was those. But I reckon they crossed maybe about an hour or so ago. They're not fresh, but and with them lying down. Ah, there's the Ellies. Hello, Ellies. So we can cross over here. Hopefully we're going to keep signal. Stations, Llanbihf and Love, northern side of Gary, Maine, close to Shabam Junction, western side. Let's go in a little bit further. Try and come around here. Are we back? Hello. I think we've seen this female before. Yeah. It's the tusks that have they're almost they're growing inwards rather than outwards or straight. One of them's actually growing inwards, and it's almost as if she catches her trunk on them sometimes. They've been round for a couple of days. Oh, that wasn't nice. Barge the other female out of the way. Llanbihv and Glov, just west of Shabam Road on the northern side of Gary, Maine. I think our best bet, mind you, I think we're still quite far away from Shabam Road. Oh dear. Confirmed we got a picture. I think it's going to be easier for me to show what the difference is between the male and female track on the tracking book, so I'll do it like that rather than trying to explain it. Make a little bit more sense. amazing how many elephants have been around recently. It's quite incredible. And yet some weeks we'll go through and not see any elephants at all.
I think they left him on Rebecca Road down by the drainage dam, north of where he made the Baba, northwest of where he made the Baba. But he said, yeah, I was finishing on that Mahala Baba. So I don't know.
I wonder if Induna will actually make his way back towards Gowrie Dam. Oh, definitely needs to keep a lookout around Gowrie Dam this afternoon. So I'm just asking for an update on Induna. It might be worth us going around. I know someone's already checked down at Treehouse Dam, but it might be worth us checking in a little while. See the elephant trying to get rid of all the dust on the grass there. Going over to see what the kids are doing.
Get you down.
Oh, my head. Looks like a bush willow. Going for the roots again. They seem to like the roots of the bush willow a lot. See, she's digging the soil away. And you might even see her digging the tusk into the ground if it's a difficult route to get to. You can see the fork-tailed drongo we just saw a little bit earlier, following the elephants too. Well, I hope it was worth it pushing that tree over. There's baby. I read the other day it's around 6 months it takes a baby elephant to work out how to use its trunk properly. There's probably a little 1-year-old that we were just watching there. Hi Doug, and good afternoon to you. Wanting to know how old the baby ellies are before they start eating solid food. They probably do try bits and pieces probably from fairly early age, maybe a month or so. She's digging again there, look. You can see that little 1-year-old had something in its mouth, and we have seen probably about 6 months old also chewing on things, so they may not eat it straight away, but maybe just test what mum's eating and smell and start to learn at least what they should start to eat. But they can continue drinking milk for 5 or 7 years depending on when the next calf comes along. So weaning is quite a lengthy process, and they can continue to supplement the diet. Okay, well, let's let them go. It's getting quite thick in there as well. Nice. So we might just lose as we get here. Slowly start making way. I think we're going to go down towards Treehouse Down, and come back along. Maybe go towards Rebecca to Zoe's Road. Hyena. We might do it the opposite way around. Shaban Road at the moment. Station overlook. Where did that track here? Where did it go? That's why I haven't gone far enough yet. Don't go that way, there's lions over there. They were firing east towards Shabam Road, just coming onto Shabam Road now. They weren't too far from it. Yeah, they should pop out somewhere around the pan on Shabam Road.
I think I'm close by.
Yeah, I'm heading down towards Treehouse Dam now. They haven't come out, but if they haven't jiggered, then they should come towards the road next front. Okay, yeah, if you can just let us know when we're back, I just won't talk until then. Let me just quickly show you the difference between a male and female line track. So here we go, this is the line track here. So, oops. So this is the female, and this is what I was looking at. The female tracks tend to be quite rounded at the top, whereas the males tends to be quite straight at the top. You know, it's got this little groove in here, and as I say, I didn't see that. And just the whole thing just said to me female, and obviously with the females crossing over. So I think the one where I thought was the male, which is the one that I then said, oh, maybe that's the male, because there was one that did look quite spaced out, and there was quite a thick piece of sand, and it could have been that, because as the substrate gets deeper, the foot sinks in more, and it does look. And it also slips a little bit, so it does look larger than what it is. So that's the female track. And this is the male track. And the males tend to be larger, but obviously the juvenile is a little bit more difficult to tell. Julie. Ah. No worries, Julie. This is the tracking book with the tracks. I find this one very good. The tracks inside are nice. You can see I've been drawing on here. This is notes that I've picked up for little tips on how to identify them. So I have been drawing on there as well. It has insects, bits of birds. No, not bits of birds, tracks of birds. But it's not a silly question, there is a scat book. And I wish I had it with me today. But I'll see if I can bring it on next drive for you, Julie. I'll have to put up the ISBN number on the Facebook page. So I'll put the title and the. I think it's called Tracks and Signs. I think it's not the one by Clive Walker. I forget what the other one is. But I'll try and bring it on Drive and show you. But there is a scat and track book and signs as well. Okay, I picked this up a little bit earlier. We lost signal. But this is your first track and dung question of the day, or of the drive. I can maybe hold it up for you. We haven't done this one before, so I'll be interested to see if anyone gets it. So there you go. So you can see, sort of next to my finger, it's very small. Although I think it has expanded a little bit. But shall I give them a clue of where I got it?
I think so. Just want to help them.
He's going to give it away. Okay, well, if I tell you where I got it from, then you're only allowed to get a point if you give me the right species. Because once I tell you, that should actually help you where I got it from. I got it from a termite mound. So there you go, that's your dung question for the day. So if you want to play along, keep a tally of how many you get right, and you've got to be truthful. I'll tell you how many points you can give yourself for the right answer. So we had quite a few tracks this morning. Let's see how we go. Ooh. Look, someone's rubbing post. This is your second one actually. Because on a tracking assessment, it's not just tracks, you do tracks and dung sometimes, and signs, and even that book I was talking about is also full of signs, so I don't know if you can see that. So who do you think has been using this? You saw hopefully me next to it. And hopefully you can see how high up the mud goes. So if you want to play along and have your name read out, then send your answers to questions@wildearthsafari.tv. But you don't have to send your answers through to get the points. You can just play along at home if you want to. So just keep a tally. And if you've joined 2 or 3 drives, then you keep your tally over the 2 or 3 drives. If you've joined 1 drive, keep your tally over the 1 drive. Oh, look. What's he doing out here?
Not too bad. Ta? You see, I'm watching your back, eh?
Yeah, you are watching my back, eh? I was actually expecting it might have been Mishu or something. Unfortunately, it looks like somebody's been having a go.
Probably. Sorry?
Somebody's been having a go at it. It's cracked on the top.
Maybe that Eddie's gonna play with it.
But someone will probably come back and finish him off. It looks like it was actually just on the side. But I couldn't see it. I was looking for any more tracks. Stations, St Maur and Glove, just on Elephant School Road west of Treehouse Dam.
Mobile station, any approach?
Llanbiv and Glove, just south of Treehouse Dam, Tambering West. I believe those two, Salala, Mafazi and Gala, Lalapans, just on the southern side of Gowrie Main, just east of Zoe's Road. Now, I didn't want to pick up the tortoise just in case we just disturb somebody who is eating it. I'm just wondering if they might just come back and finish him off.
Can't see any tracker on it.
No, I couldn't see too much around him. But it looks like he came from just off of the road, and it looks like it fell down. So maybe something had pushed him down. Maybe that whatever was messing with it was on the inside there. But there's one puncher right on top. Be interesting to see if the elephants do come and have a look at it. Time for a dust bath. Ah. Is it possible to tell me who came through with the answers? Okay. Binky, Ricky, Julie, Holly, and Tuez. Chris, I believe, and Jean, all getting it right. Well done. Ah, Binky, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, Binky was getting it right. Hello, boys. You smell something funny. Binky and Kathy also, and was there a Julie in there? You see, you can smell it, look. I'm gonna ignore it. Yeah. It's not me that smells funny, it's the tortoise. Yeah. Completely ignoring it. Apparently we smell funny instead. but correct for sign number 2. I wonder if these boys may be part of the herds that we've just been with. Or they're part of another herd that we haven't seen. Because they are at that age where they may start to move away a bit more. Well, I'll leave it there anyway, in case somebody does come back. So I would say, well, maybe he's been driven, something drove over it, but from where it was, unless someone went off-road there, so it's just cracked, the shell's cracked on top. Lost picture. Hi Rose in Texas. Do elephants sneeze? Yes, they do. Especially if they've been picking the dust up with their trunk, throwing it over. Maybe sometimes a bit of pollen gets up the nose or something, but you definitely do hear them sneezing. What they were doing there with the dust bath is trying to get rid of any external parasites that can help to loosen them off, blasting them with the dust. But that is a reason. Hello, little one. You're coming as well. That is, just going back to the tortoise, that is one of the reasons, if it has been driven over, that is one of the reasons why we do try and be very careful. We want to catch up with them. Julie! It was dead, Julie, the tortoise. But it didn't look like it was too old. As I say, that's why I'm a bit confused. It didn't look too old. Or looked fairly recent. It didn't look like there was any tracks going off. Hello, hippo. In the best. It was a leopard tortoise, Julie. One of 2 species that we get here, but they are seeking cover and shelter during the winter time. We don't really find them moving out. That's why I was quite surprised to see it on the road.
Got the tortoise on his head.
Has he got a terrapin on his head?
Yeah.
Oh, he has as well. So that's the other Chelonian that we get here, or one of the other Chelonians. Can't see if it's a marsh terrapin or a hinged terrapin. Basking in the sun, and you will often find them sitting on the hippos, using them as an area to bask in or bask on. And quite often they'll actually eat the ticks off the hippos' bodies, so they actually do help the hippos. The hippos don't seem to mind them too much. But maybe Misha will be around to eat the tortoise. Don't let it go to waste. I say unless there was somebody around and was just disturbed. I don't see a punch wound underneath. I'm sorry, quite proud to be sitting on top of the hippo there.
Yeah. It's actually a nice picture, eh?
Yeah.
Not scared of anything.
Yeah. Yeah, he does actually. Do you want to mess with me?
Yeah.
He's got that stance. I'll be able to see that long, thin neck quite nicely. I'm not seeing any other movement down here. So maybe let's try Zoe's Road. Oh, gone. Yeah. Has a shallow, quite a shallow. is a helmeted token. It's got a just to make it interesting. Hi Elaine, good afternoon to you. Wondering if the rumours of a baby hippo born at Juma are true. I couldn't say. Apparently there was a post put up on Juma, on the Juma wall, and we actually didn't hear about it until this morning. So there's been a few people asking. We were wondering what people were asking, but we hadn't heard anything. And apparently there was a post put up with all the commotion. Apparently someone thought that there was a baby born. I haven't seen a new baby there, but it could well have been. So yeah, we did ask the Zoomies this morning. No one came back to us, so if there's any Zoomies watching this afternoon that may be able to help us out. Apparently there's no video footage. So yeah, if anyone can help us, if there is some video footage. Otherwise, I don't know. So I wouldn't have thought, if it was born a couple of days ago, I'd have thought we should have seen it. We haven't seen a baby hippo, but it could just be, oh hello Coram. Hi Coram. It could just be that we just haven't seen it. Usually they'll stick around the birthing pool for a couple of weeks at least. Sometimes a couple of months before they make their way back to the pod. There's a pod on there. So we're going to try Zoe's Road. I'm hoping that we'll stay in contact. We'll swing by the hyena den. We'll see if maybe the rhinos have popped out there. There's a lot of rhino activity, tracks going in. Excuse me. And maybe even Karula. So what was the dung answer? It was dwarf Remember, dwarf mongoose live in termite mounds. Especially around here they do. Abandoned termite mounds. That was what the giveaway was. So if you got dwarf mongoose, give yourself a point. If you got goose, maybe Zoe's road is okay, I'm just gonna drive up towards the hyena den. If we don't come back, then I'll just pop down Becker's Road.
Hello?
Okay, Carola, where you go? Here we go. Good fun. Right, it's an hour left. Ooh, signals are getting chilly quickly. It is. Chilly, chilly, chilly. Okay, well, we're approaching the hyena den. You know. It took me a couple of seconds to work that one out. Oh, I did. Aha! Awesome. Sounds like that. So, what was the answer to the second question. Did we get any more answers actually for the second question? Didn't get any more answers. For the second question was an elephant rubbing post. So it actually went quite high. If it didn't go as high as that, it might have been a rhino rubbing post. But it did go quite high, and someone had a bit of mud on them and they wiped it off. I was just trying to have a look underneath to see how smooth the bark was underneath, because if it's a rubbing post, oh, they're out. If it's a rubbing post they use a lot, and they do have their particular favourites, where you can actually find the bark. It's quite smooth. They're little ones. They look like they are up to mischief. Yes, you do. You look like you're up to mischief. Oh, look, there's something we can play with. Ah, this one looks like Elvis Presley. Look at the sideburns on him. Oh, this one. Yeah. Oh. He's even got the hair. Sorry, I'm a big Elvis fan. You gonna come and say hello? Yeah, you're at that age where you're just interested in everything. I must admit, I'm actually quite amazed that they're still here after the lion being here. I think the other two might be suckling from Mum. Yeah. So I think she's the second in charge. I think she might be Floppy Ear's daughter. You can see the one just behind Mum. And that's usually the position of the second cub. And the first cub is the one lying next to Mum's belly. And feeding can take maybe an hour and a half sometimes. And again, just like the elephants, quite a long weaning process. Maybe a year and a half. Actually getting quite broad across the chest there. One of the strongest jaws in the animal kingdom. How'd you get a fright? And unlike lions, hyenas won't allow other cubs to suckle even if they are related. It's just their cubs. I just took my radio, sorry. Stations in BC is active. Oh, it looks like they've caught something. with the skin of something, possibly a scrub hare. Looks quite furry. Why are we looking at a lobster?
No, I thought it was like another like piece of skin or something.
Okay.
That's why I zoomed in to check it better.
Okay.
No, I didn't think it was a hyena, don't worry.
No, I knew you wouldn't think it was like, why a log? It's a nice looking log. Oh, yeah,
It's got there.
yeah, it looks like it.
Yep.
It looks quite small, and I wonder if they did actually catch it themselves. Maybe Mum caught it and brought it back. It's quite interesting. Maybe she didn't, because what we have seen is if she has brought something back, she tends to chase the others away from it and only lets her cubs feed from it. That's what makes me think maybe they caught it, and it might be a young scrub hare that was maybe unaware. Oh, shame. Can we look at the little cub playing with your log? It's actually scratching itself. Sadly, I don't think it tastes better than the scrub hare. Looks like possibly the fur of a scrub hare. All the hyenas are here. Mark's thinking it might be the fur of another hyena.
Yeah, that's also what I kind of.
But it's quite old though, if it is. It's not a young one. But all five are here, so unless it came from another clan. Hi Sarah, good afternoon to you. What age do the hyenas leave the den and their mothers? And they usually start to leave with the adults to go on foraging excursions around 7-8 months old. So I think these cubs have been going on foraging excursions, or at least a couple of the older ones have.
Does look like a hyena.
I don't know, eh? Unless, no, but we started seeing 5 at the other den. I thought, well, unless it was that 6th one. But they're all definitely here. I can see where you're coming from with the spots now. So I just saw the brown earlier, but it's a mystery of where or who it would be then, if it is a hyena. There's the youngest one coming to check us out now. Yeah, they usually leave the den with the adults about 7 or 8 months. And they start to go on hunting excursions, maybe around a year old, but they might not be able to pull something down until they're about a year and a half. It'll be more to do with size than anything. It's got a big role to play in it. I don't know. Be able to.
Your red joker, please.
The cubs were begging for a little bit more milk, I think. Something just pull forward a little bit more. Alright, cubbies. Coming back. Yeah, cub's got its own way. Hi Val. Good afternoon to you. Wanting to know how old the hyena pups are. I'm very curious. That little one in the left of your screen is the youngest. I think that little one's probably around 4.5, maybe 5 months old now. And the two that are with Mum, I think, are just slightly older. I think they're probably about 6 months, 6.5 months, and then the two larger ones, I think, are probably about 7 months. And I think we've actually seen those two out and about. I think they came by camp last night. It's quite interesting that an adult wasn't with them, but so I think they have got to that age where they're starting to forage, but I think the others are still just a little bit small. Could be they even brought something back. Maybe that's a tidbit that they brought back. But I'm still confused. I can see where you guys are coming from with the spots on the fur, but I just can't work out where they would have got it, unless a lion killed a hyena last night. Maybe the night before. It could possibly be the mane of the neck. The fur looks long enough for that. I'd say that colour looked to me like a scrub hare. Stations and BC Kaya is active. Just try and turn around again. I think we're going to start making our way up towards where are we down? a look at what you've got in your mouth. No, put it down again. And hold it up for us again. Unless there has been another female that's given birth somewhere else. Hi, Kevin. Asking would they eat their own kind if they had the chance. And as I say, that's what's confusing me a little bit. But they could well do. It's not normal for carnivores to really eat other individuals. But it can happen. I mean, we have seen the lions. The Majingi lions actually started eating one of the mapojos, and they have been seen eating from a lioness. So it is possible. It's finally going, he doesn't want to share it. I don't know. I really don't know.
What is he?
No, because as I say, just trying to look at it. I mean, I've seen hare carcasses, and with bits of fur pulled out, they can look spotty, but it does look like fur from spotted hyena, but it looks like a young spotted hyena, or the mane of an adult. But as I say, there's a lot of white on there as well, because as I say, they have been pulling out quite a lot of pieces of fur. And I saw there was a bit that looked like a leg to me, but it looks like it's just matted. Very difficult to say. Well, you lost it now. But all 5 cubs are here, so it's not one of these cubs if it is that. It could be that it is from an animal from another clan. Could possibly be. There's any number of possibilities. One thing I can say, it doesn't look like a leopard. A leopard skin. Seeing something over there. Well, let's leave them to it. Maybe at some stage we'll be able to answer that riddle. So I'm thinking making our way back towards where that tortoise was and seeing if anybody's going to come back. To eat it. Stations leaving the MBC Kaya open lock, active.
All stations, this is Brian from Cruise Camp. Please have an update.
Good afternoon, Brian. I can then give you an update for Western Gary. That's Bob, just west of Treehouse Dam, and the MBC car is active. There was two Salalas, Lalapans just on the southern side of Gary, Maine, very close to Zoe's Road.
Okay, thank you very much. And the Henry is on down.
I think Henry was. I think they were talking about the 6 Madonna and Gala Lalapans somewhere by Kruger Camp.
Brian, come in. Brian, standing by. Hello, Brian, Nick here. Yeah, those 6 males are lying, or they're about to get off the move now, quarter to dump.
It's pulses down now that they're around.
Yeah, 3 minutes. Okay, don't worry about it. We'll do a little while. I'll put it back. Okay.
Hi, Callie. Good afternoon. Wanting to know about animal census. Is there one taken of the animals here on the reserve? And Big Five, what's the greatest population? Do we know the numbers? And I don't know the exact numbers at the moment, but they do a census. I forget how often they do it actually. It is taken across the Greater Kruger, which is Kruger National Park, which lies to our east in that direction. We are part of the Sabi Sands, but animals can cross from the Sabi Sands over into Kruger, and we traverse about 1,000 hectares out of 2.7 million hectares, an idea of the area. But, elephant would be the greatest population. I think Leopard is somewhere around 1,400, lion I think 1,600, and rhino, I forget what rhino are actually in Buffalo, but elephant, there's a huge number of elephants in Kruger. The elephants would be the greatest population we could find. Maybe someone can have a quick check for us, Google it, see if we can get the up-to-date numbers. I can never hold the numbers in my head, they always pop out in my head. And these would be estimates as well. They do a game count and then maybe add a few. So there's always going to be some that you don't see. Same with the leopards, same with the lions, anything really. I kind of wanted to cover this area because Kiruna might just be coming back to collect the cubs. So I have a feeling the cubs are still around. Final control. Keep a lookout for a honey badger down here. We're going to do a lap around towards Philemon's Dip again. See if maybe Nduna's awake, if he hasn't moved on already. Your bedtime, Rona. $. Slightly bigger than the Impala, everything else. Disappearing already. No, he's been walking here. Get off my book. Ah, people. People have been walking here. Oh, nice cutie bird. No, don't go. Right, well, let's head down towards Philemon's Dip again. See if Induna is out and about. Actually, we didn't do this side, did we? We did that side. Did we do that side? Yeah. No, we did do that side this afternoon, didn't we? Oh, we did half and half actually. I'm very paranoid because things happen here, and if we don't cover it all, we miss things. I'm trying to cover all of quarantine as much as possible, so we don't miss anything. We'll be going to bed now. Yeah, they're going to bed. Why are you guys not in bed yet? That doesn't mean that there's no leopard around here. Good night. Sleep well. Even the kudu or the nyala, with the whereabouts of Korea. Or even in Juno if he's come this way. They're all on this side. He could be on the other side, for all we know. Sorry, ladies. Also looking out for nocturnal species that are going to be coming out now, like the African wildcats, the genet, the honey badger, which everybody wants to see. Hi Kevin, good afternoon to you. Wanting to know if the animals eat more or less in winter. I couldn't honestly say. I wouldn't have thought so. Oh, there goes a scrub hare. I suppose humans do. Well, I do. In winter time, I definitely eat more. I don't know, Kevin. I don't know if it's ever really been looked at. Maybe there's some papers on it. Because I mean, during the summertime there's an abundance of food. There's a lot of wet food. Well, it's not as dry as it is now. So weight-wise, it probably would be the same because they'd have to eat maybe more of the dry food because the nutrients aren't as great during the winter time as it is in the summertime, maybe. Interesting question, Kevin. Let's see if there has been something researched on it. Because it may be different for different species as well. 'Cause, I mean, especially when an animal has a high metabolism, it won't matter whether it's winter or summer, they need to eat food. And especially the smaller animals, they tend to have to constantly eat to keep that high metabolism, because they just lose energy very, very quickly. They may spend more time searching for food. Confirm still black screen. Go down the other way then. Okay. Okay, we're trying Weaver's Nest Road. We haven't driven along here. can see the hippopotamus. I can hear them. Oh, there they are. I couldn't get so you're not getting picture at all now.
I've got you now.
Oh. Oh, it's not right next to the tortoise. Still there. Oh, bush baby. There. You see past the tree? Yeah. Right in the middle of the... Yeah, just if you zoom in onto the main branch. A little bit higher. There he is. Yeah, just there. Centre of the screen. Just there. There we go.
Okay, got him.
No, gone. Bush baby! Gallego or Gallego. Depends on how you want to say it.
Oh,
Oh, did
yeah.
you see him?
Yeah,
Oh, there he is.
yeah.
That's it again. It's actually just in the fork of a tree that we just can't see. I'm trying to drop the light again because obviously just like leopards, it's not nice to shine in their eyes. If you can maybe zoom in because he's literally just behind that branch. Yeah, there you go. Can you see he's actually cleaning?
Okay,
Yeah, just there.
yeah.
It's a tiny little primate, primitive primate. Highly territorial. And they're amazing. Have you heard them, Seb? Have you heard them calling?
Huh?
Have you heard them calling?
Yeah.
It's amazing the sounds that
Crying
these little
baby.
things. Yeah, that's where they get the name from actually, because they do sound like a crying baby. But they are incredibly loud for something so small. I mean, it's probably the body is the size of the radio body, if that.
Yeah, chill out, yeah.
Yeah.
Fred, evening back and forth, east. Copy, thanks. Copy.
And amazing jumpers. Looks like he's going to jump again. A good old cleaning session just before he goes out in the forage. And there'll probably be a few trees here that this little bush baby owns. Probably a couple of acacias for the gum. I'm looking for any insects that might be hidden under any bark. There we go. It's funny how they jump as well. They actually throw the body forward. Especially if they're jumping sideways and they actually land with their back feet.
Legs. affirmative, Brian. We are just west of the road between Kaimani and Jan, just west of that. Okay, Alex, we got you late and we got a busload of children in the vehicle. I think we're just going to potter around near camp, so we're not going to go there. Okay.
Well, let's leave him to it. Oh.
We'll speak to you tomorrow. Okay, great.
So would like to just have another drive-by and see if those Salala females have woken up and maybe made their way back over the boundary. Or even they might be walking down the road, who knows. But unfortunately we can't go and see them, we can't hop over the boundary. Animals don't have any boundaries apart from the ones that they set up, those that hold territories. But we humans do. I said earlier we traverse about 1,000 kilometers here in Juma, which is part of the Sabi Sand. Fences came down between the different properties. The different properties are owned by different people. So it was decided that the fences would come down around 1958, I believe. And that helps to balance out this organise themselves as they want, and it actually helps the bushveld because the animals can organise themselves so they don't have a huge impact on the environment as much as they would if they were actually on a small area that was fenced off. Small area needs to be managed a lot more closely. Hi Sarah, good afternoon to you. Wanted to know if the Matimba males are still in the area. And they're not here, they're up in the north. Hey, little scrub head. Run off. Just here. See, this is what I thought the hyenas were playing with. You can see the pelt is a similar colour. Is that? That's why I was thinking maybe if they pull bits of fur out, but I say it could well have been the pelt of a spotted hyena. There it goes. Scrub hare, nocturnal, one of the nocturnal species. Did I see a sign or did I see eyes? I saw a sign. Might lose you again as we go up here. Let's go and have a quick look. It could be that the lionesses are just sleeping out, and we did get a signal where those tracks came out. So the 6 males are over in the north, apparently by one of the dams over there. I do wonder if they're going to come back this way at some stage. They seem to be stating a claim to this area. And why wouldn't they? They're beautiful big males. Let's see where the vehicle tracks went. I think it is here. Maybe not. Maybe a little bit further then. Oh, that could actually have been our tracks going into the elephants. They were my tracks, trying to look at the lion tracks. Hi, Joe. Joe asking, do hyenas mark territory, and if they do, is it just the matriarch? And hyenas are territorial, highly territorial. Oh, we're gonna have to go on the battery change. Here they are. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. So, all the members of the clan will mark territory, and it's marked with a paste from the apes. That hold information about who did the pasting. So this is where they pulled it off. So they're still sleeping by the looks of it. Worth a try. Mongoose dung that I got earlier was from this mound here to our right. Hi Marilyn, and good evening or good morning to you over there in California. Asking about, are we still getting live drives after the weekend? Will you have recorded drives? Safari TV, as we know it, is closing down, and our last drive is the 31st on the Sunday, and I hope you're all going to join us for that. Because we are still saying goodbye to some of the team. It's very, very sad. Very, very close. But unfortunately, the team is splitting up. But thanks to Yuri and Pippa, who actually own Juma, they've actually stepped in. And there will be continuation of the live drives at some stage. I think that's yet to be announced exactly when live drives will start up again. Hopefully not too far in the distant future. But I'm sure it will be released. I'm sure it will be released. Dave, who just ran off. So keep a watch out on the blogs. Keep a watch out both on Juma and Wild Earth. But unfortunately, that's all I know. It's myself, Seb and Mark are staying on. And Seb's going to be doing a bit more cooling. Because I know a lot of people enjoyed your presenting. Yeah, we'll definitely give you a hand. We're all looking forward to that. I think Seb did a wonderful job the other day. We were trying to get him out the other night. But, as I say, it's not going to be the last you see of him as a presenter. And I think someone was saying you can maybe teach us French by Christmas. Teach everybody French. Oh well, no sign of Induna. I want to try and get to the end of Philemon's cut line. Well, hi Luann, and thanks for the information about the birds the other day. I don't know if you were watching. I did mention it on Drive. I hope you're well. I wanted to know how Karula, Misha and Induna would react to each other, and it's difficult to say, Luann. I think it depends on how they're feeling on the day. If they do meet each other, it depends on the circumstances, as Karula has shown with her daughter Shadow, or we know her as Tingana. Because there'll be some days she'll fight with her daughter, and there'll be some days where they'll sit a few meters away from each other and not spit or react to each other at all. It's very difficult to say. I think it just depends on the circumstances. I think the other day Induna was actually around a kill with Karula. That's what Ryan said the other day. Quite interesting that she was actually allowing him to come and feed. I was hoping we'd see him, or Karula. But thank you very much for joining us here on Wild Earth this afternoon. Thank you for all your questions. I hope you've been enjoying the Dung quiz, and you need to start totting up your scores and seeing how you did. And let's say there may be one or two to come, but we'll see. But we'll see at the end of the week. But keep those scores handy. Keep them locked away somewhere safe, and we'll see how well everybody did. But again, thank you for joining us. If we bump into Induna on the way back home, or Karula, we'll definitely let you know. Thanks, Seb, for your camera work. Thanks, Mark, back in Final Control. And you've been watching Wild Earth, and hopefully you can join us again tomorrow morning, 6:30 Central Africa time, when Mark will be heading out. And let's see what we can go and find tomorrow morning. But take care wherever you are in the world. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.